Right. I know the whole, yep, I knew it. The Holy Spirit was like, oh, there's no sound. I'm like, okay, let me check it right now. Thank you, Sister Alberta. God bless you for letting me know. But I just was saying that I had to take a moment before I pressed the live button to get myself together because it's been such an insightful and wonderful time these last 31 days. I promise it was just July 1st yesterday, but here we are on July 31st. Oh my gosh, it has been such a great time, such a beautiful time, just a revelation, of reflection. I think for me, it's been a level of deep awareness that I know my triggers, I know the things that I need to do, I know, how I need to move and shift. I know that I can do it, right? Good evening, God bless. Hey, Sister Barbara Ann, how are you? God bless you. It has just been like, ooh, this has been so good, and everything that happened over this month has just been awesome. It's just been like the scales have been lifted and dropped, and you just see clearer, and you know that you can do something, right? So let's talk about food or eating habits, right? And the level of control that food has on a lot of us, right? We eat when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're aggravated, when we're annoyed. You know what I mean? We just eat because we're bored. But over this month, that has been broken and destroyed, right? In Jesus' name, that we say, I don't have to be controlled by food anymore. I can take my control back, right? I can say I'll eat when I'm hungry and then I won't eat again. And unless I'm hungry, I'm not going to eat, right? I'm not just going to snack, 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 or just have food because it's there. Like those are the things that we put in place. And this is the eternity and the eternalness of what we started here, right? The challenge doesn't end today. We took a month to get ourselves on the right track. A lot of us had just been in different spaces or places. We took a month to get ourselves on track so that we could enter eight, right? The month of new beginnings, we could enter that space and that place how we need to enter it. So, day 31, I have said this the entire challenge. I'm so grateful to God. I'm a preacher. I can speak and talk for hours and hours, but I wanted this to be quick and short, not too quick that you miss certain things, right? Because God downloads to me every day what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm like, what are we talking about today? He lets me know and then shows me and confirms it when I look up what the numbers mean in a biblical or godly sense, right? I've kept it short and sweet this entire time. We haven't been on here for an hour, right? Maybe 15 minutes at the max, right? Because I just want to give a quick word of encouragement, not just to you, but to me, right? I'm not above anybody. I did this challenge with everybody. I know God told me to do this challenge, and it was to create discipline. It was to create awareness. Hey, 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 my good Chilia Corvette sis, how you doing? Love you so much. It was just a good time to be with God, in the fact that the book of Proverbs coincided with the days, right? So every day you read, and every day, I want to be honest, every day I didn't read a chapter, but then I made it up, right? You know what I mean? So sometimes when we want to do something or start something, right, it's like, okay, awesome. And then we fail and we get distracted, we get discouraged. But in the challenge, you just keep going and going and going and moving forward. And that's the move and that's the goal. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. That we get knocked down and we get discouraged, but we keep going. So what did we do this month? We built up our stamina. Yes, Sister Alberta, getting us ready for the new things to come. There's certain things that had to be dropped off of us, right? The Lord was showing me that in our entire being, again, not just focus on the physical, but in our mind and our spirit, we had to lose weight to welcome the new. How could we welcome the new if the old weight is still hanging off, right? What does the Bible say? You can't put new wine in old wineskins. They'll burst, they'll bust. They can't hold the new because they're old, they're stretched, right? The wineskins were leather, right? So they were old, and over time they get worn down. If you put something new in them, they will burst. We needed new space. We needed new opportunities. We needed just a new compartments in ourselves, right? So that's how we had to lose the weight supernaturally. And it's hard for God to do something supernatural if we don't even do anything in the natural, right? There's no super to put on it. So we gave him some material to work with by committing to eating right, drinking more water, reducing our carb intake, reducing our sugar intake. Ooh, that was difficult and hard. Let's be clear. Let's be honest. Okay, your girl likes to eat the sugary stuff, all the good stuff. But now my taste buds have changed. Yes, I still like to have a little sweets here and there, but I want to treat my temple right. right? I want to treat my body right. I want to make sure that I'm putting nutritious things in my body, that I'm moving my body, that I'm not sedentary, that I'm not allowing my bones just to sit and not be used, that I'm moving my joints and my ligaments in whatever way. We said swimming, we said karate, we said cardio, we said running, we said walking, we said stretching. I've been doing this toning stretching. It's just been amazing. There are so many avenues and so many things to do out there. YouTube, we have our own in-house, come on, socaologist, you know what I mean, who will move the waistline, move the body in CD or Chanel Don Thompson is 5678. There are different avenues for us to use. We can move our bodies. We don't have to stay sedentary, not just in our physical bodies. We don't have to stay sedentary in our minds. Come on, dancing, walking, let's go. It is time to move our bodies. And as it is in the natural, so it is in the spiritual. We don't have to stay sedentary and obese in our minds or in our spirits either. Because what happens when we don't exercise in our spirit, we get overweight. And what happens? We allow certain spiritual things to come into us and come on us that if we were fit, we wouldn't allow. Mentally, we allow certain thoughts and concepts and ideations and all this stuff to come in. So we're obese in our mind. You can't even function properly because the weight that's weighted down. This month was a month of pruning. Yeah, she's a soca queen. This month was a month of pruning, of cutting. I told you what the Lord told me. He said, I'm laying my axe to the root, cutting off the things that no longer serve not only you, but they don't serve me. And I can't give you the new if we're holding on to the old. I mean, we're clutching onto the old concepts, old things that our family did. Everything that they did, no, it wasn't always right. And just because your grandmother did it, or your mother did it, your uncle, your aunt, your favorite cousin, doesn't mean that we have to carry that down. We could stop this thing right here and say, I'm going on a new path. This was the month of getting knocked off of our cart, off of our bike, off of our feet, so that when we got up, we could see that we have two choices to make. Some of us just walk on one single path because that's all we know. But when we're knocked off that thing, when we get a new concept, when something's introduced to us that shocks our system, when cold water splashed in our face, when we come to, we say, oh, I have this path or I have that path, and the decision becomes ours. We choose to live a healthier life in our entire being, not so focused on the physical that we neglect the mental or the spiritual, but we're focused and balanced all the way around. We are a tri-part being. We consist of the mind, the body, and the spirit. So we have to take care of all three, making sure that there's no obesity, right? Or anorexia, right? Let's be completely honest. Not just in the physical realm, but in our mind and in our spirit. We have to make sure that we're okay, that we're working out, that we're taking in the word of God. That's what we read wisdom for this entire month. If we're losing weight, if we're making space, then we're going to fill that thing up. We're going to jam pack the weight that we lost. We're going to fill up that space, that void with the wisdom of God. That's the only thing that will lead us through. And we're going to make sure that we get our Selah rest, that we take the time to sit in contemplation, in quiet contemplation, that we carve out a space. That's what we did for 31 days. It takes 21 days to build a habit. We gave an extra 10. We have to get our Selah rest where we can hear God. We can hear our own thoughts. We don't even allow ourselves to process our emotions or our feelings. We just speed past them. We just go forward. We just keep moving and keep pushing. Nah, Selah allows us the gift and the opportunity to sit and reflect, to process, so those feelings don't keep tripping us up and they keep coming back in a vicious cycle because we speed past them and they say, oh, I will not be ignored. I'm a feeling. I'm going to come back around. I'm going to hit you in the worst way possible. We don't even give them the space to do that because we're sitting and we're processing. We're allowing ourselves to feel our feelings and be human again. Welcome back to humanity. We did 31 days of humanity. We're not robots. We're not machines. We don't have to hold everything on our shoulders like a pack horse. We weren't made to carry all that. This was the month of casting our cares and concerns on the Lord, really this time, truthfully this time, and not picking them back up, recognizing what we can and can't do. Let me get in to what 31 means, right? So I was looking it up, okay? 31, especially in the Hebrew sense, it just means El. It just means El. It just means God, right? It just leaves that open thing. God of what? Like it's like the great I am. You know, when God spoke to Moses, he said, I am that I am. There was nothing else at the end. It was like an ellipsis, a dot, dot, dot. I am. We could fill in. It was like a blank check. I am. So that's what 31 indicates, right? Because the way the Hebrew language is broken down is broken down into pictures and then numbers at times. So 31, when the 30 and the 1 are put together, it just means L. That's our blank check. This is what we've done for 31 days. God says, I am that I am to you. What do you need me to be in the month of new beginnings? You. This is a consecration that we did for 31 days. We consecrated ourselves. We allowed ourselves to shift to new mindsets of growth, productivity. God says, what do you need me to be in the next phase, the next journey of your life? I am that I am. I'm L. God. God what? God faithful, God eternal, God loving, God caring. We can add whatever we need. I am that I am. I also this almost made me shout. I was ready to do a lap or two. Y'all know it doesn't take me very long, but uh, in regard to the promised land, right? There were 31 kings who had to be conquered. My, before the children of Israel could enter into the promised land. Now, Moses didn't complete that, but Joshua, he completed annihilating and completely canceling and moving out 31 kings of foreign idol nations before they could really rest in the promised land. That's what we did for 31 days. We knocked out the stumbling blocks, the barriers, the things that kept tripping us up so we could see clearly and enter into the promised land of August, the month of new beginnings. We are in our new beginning. That's where we are. That's where we are. That's where we're going to stay. Now, before I go, I want to let you know of another challenge that is happening. It is called Praising into the New, and it's by Chanel Don Thompson, CD, and Eagle Yvonne. They are teaming up to do praise and worship in the park for the entire month. So you're like, oh, I'm so sad this challenge is ending. Fear not, another challenge is beginning. You're going to worship, you're going to praise, and we're going to see new things happening. It is the month of new. I'm going to drop the link in the chat so that you can click on it, so that you can have access to that. They're starting tomorrow. It's going to be at 6:30. They're going to actually be meeting in person. So please, if you can come out, if you're feeling led, if you're feeling drawn, you're like, oh, I'm not done with the challenge. I want to keep going. Come on out and get you another 31 days of challenging and praising into the new, the month of new beginnings. That's the move. That's where we're going, and that's what we're doing. That's how we have to operate. Every day is another challenge. Every day something's going to come up. Every day, we might get interrupted or moved around or shifted around. But no, we're staying motivated because we just did this for 31 days. And it was no easy feat, okay, to not eat what we want, to not do what we want. No, but we're taking a moment to say, if I could do this for 31 days, then I can do this for the rest of my life. Let's be clear that I don't have to succumb to bad food or be a slave to food or be a slave to negative thoughts or be a slave to the demonic activity or spiritual wickedness that I have unknowingly allowed into my life. I'm no longer a slave. I'm free. I'm clear because I have the I am and I fill in what I need and I've conquered what I need to conquer so I can enter to the promised land of new beginnings. It's hard for us to get into the new if we're still holding on to the old. I love you all so much. I appreciate you all so much. No, it does not matter that you're not a liturgical dancer because honestly, at the end of the 31 days, you just very well might be, okay? They will have flags. You're just moving your body. You're just allowing the Lord to use you. It's praise and it's worship and it's entering into the new. We're going to praise ourselves into the new. We're going to move our bodies in glorification to God into the new. You don't have to be an expert dancer. You don't have to be a liturgical dancer. You just have to have a heart for God and want to enter into the new and whatever that looks like. Okay, there's a lot of newness happening. Come on, new jobs, babies, entering into school. There's a lot of new things happening, and we want to go into that wave. God is doing something new, and we want to shift right into there. I love you all so much. I appreciate you all so much for hanging tough. 31 days, we did it. The challenge is done, but the challenge has really just begun because now this is the eternal things. You know how much we talked about 8 and how it means new beginnings. and 8 is the infinity symbol, and it's eternal. And we've started an eternal challenge, and we'll just carry on into glory. That what we started here is a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle of discipline, being mindful of what we think, being mindful of what we allow to come into our spirit. We're exercising on every atmosphere, on every plane, on the mental, on the physical, and the spiritual. We're making sure that we're not overweight or obese in any form or fashion. Healthy looks different for everybody. We want to make sure that we're maintaining a healthy lifestyle in every way that we are. So we are the mind, we are the body, we are the spirit or the soul. We have to be so cautious and careful of how we treat our temple. This temple matters, and it's dedicated back to God. I love you so much. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to get your movement in, it's just 7:34 where I am. Still light outside. Do what you need to do. Get your body moving. That's walking up the stairs. That's just taking a walk around the block. That's doing whatever. That's using water bottles, to strengthen your muscles. That's doing whatever. Get creative. Move your joints and your ligaments. If you haven't taken the time to just have a Selah, sit in reflection and rest. Oh my gosh, don't just be there. Just be there with yourself so you can allow your body the gift of rest. That we enter into the rest. We don't have to labor. We're entering into the rest. We're not fighting the rest anymore. And if you haven't gotten a chance to read your word, we're filling ourselves up with wisdom. And that's what we're doing. And that's what we've done. I love you all so much. I appreciate you all so much. I might do another challenge. You know what I mean? Maybe not as long, but when the spirit moves me, I might do a 5-day or 3-day so that we can stay on task. Challenges help us to get refreshed and replenished and to stay focused and on task. Again, I am bigging up and shouting out my sisters, Chanel and Yvonne. They are starting a challenge tomorrow. I dropped the link. It is praising into the new. Tomorrow is the month of new beginnings. So we wait in expectation for the new, whatever that looks like, the newness of what God is giving us. We stay open, we stay ready, we watch our mind, we don't let ourselves reject what God is doing. We stay focused, we stay aware, and we stay prepared and ready for the new. I love you so much. I really do. I honor you. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much. And I'm praying a huge Selah over your life, over your family's life, over things that need to be settled. Just quiet rest and contemplation. That's the gift, and that's for you. Love you so much. Until the next challenge, thank you for hanging tough with me.